Hey guys, it's warm. Yep, and we're in the air-conditioned garage where it's like, I don't know, 15 degrees cooler. Anyway, previous video where you guys saw about the brake caliper bolts being kind of messed up and the one hole on the caliper being messed up. Well, this is the part where we get a little frisky. Works if they look like this. I'll put a picture up here. Okay, if they look like this, we're going to show you how to take care of that. Okay, so picture here. This is what they look like. And how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to be using a couple of things. First thing we're going to do is we're going to hit it with some 80 grit sandpaper. We're going to wet sand it. Then we'll probably step up to 180, 220, 320, 400, 600. We'll just do the step up process. Then we're going to hit it with 1000 grit, 1500 grit, 2000 grit. And see what it does. We're going to wet sand it. But then we're going to hit it with some mothers. I've seen people use several different things. Metal polish, aluminum polish, chrome polish. I've seen some done with Neverdol. I'm not a fan of Neverdol. Just not. Mothers and my little buffer is what we're going to try. So we're probably going to make a mess, but we're going to see how it comes out. I'll show you guys. It's been a while, but quite some time ago, just to test, I did a little spot right there, right? And that was just to test it to see. So we obviously need to get our reflectors off. Need to clean our axle grease or anti-seize out of there on both sides. Your wheel, tire, and fender should be off if you're doing this. We're going to try to get up here as far as we can, but remember, when the bike is on the ground, this will be up in this. So, but we're going to try to get as much of that out of there as we can. So, let me get you guys set up on something different because my tripod thing's a little messed up here. I'm trying to still figure out how to get the Ulanzi mounts on the big tripod. But hopefully that'll work out. And who knows, maybe at some point in time we'll give you like an overhead with the drone or something. I don't know. It's going to take a while. But we're going to get the garden hose out. We're going to wet sand it and get that out of there. But first, we need to get the reflectors off. So let's do that. Alright, folks, first things first. We need to get the reflectors off. A lot of people take them off and leave them off. I guess we'll see what happens when I take them off, and we'll go from there. But we're just going to use a razor blade and cut them off. Yep. They peel right off. That's that side. Let's get this side. Just two-sided tape. We cut it off. We'll get some Goo Gone or something. Yeah, you know what? I got some stuff that Doyle sent me. I think we're going to try that and see if that gets it off there. But we're going to wash these up first, and we're going to use stuff Doyle sent us and some microfiber cloth, maybe a little razor blade to get some more of this stuff off of here, and then we'll start the sanding process. So let me get that stuff in order. Alright, folks, super clean. It worked out pretty good. There's still maybe a little bit on there, but we'll get it off with the sandpaper. It'll sand off of there. We're going to start with 80 grit. We're going to start at the top, work our way down. My battery is going to die, so I'll switch you guys out. We're not going to bore you with, the entire lengthy process of sanding. We'll just speed the footage up and go from there. And we'll bring you in, and I'll let you know when I switch paper and stuff like that. But we're going to go 80, and then we're going to step up, is how we're going to do it. Okay? There you go. That's 80 grit. We used a little bit of 60 grit right here to get some of the heavy corrosion off down here and some of the heavy pitting. And then we kind of lightly went back over it with the 80 grit, right? But something else that we did, I'll show you guys. Let me take you off of here a second. If you look at this one, you can see just like these little divots here, right? Those, and even here, what those are is you can see over here, we took them out, right? Just kind of like where you're going to be able to see. We're not worried so much about inside here because your tire and wheel is going to be here and your fender is going to be here. We'll polish it up, but we're not worried about getting all of those little bumps out of there. So what are those little bumps? Those little bumps are actually just from the casting mold they use to get your bolt bosses on there, because that's where, or bolt mounts, whatever you want to call them, your mounts, your boss mounts. I just call them bolt bosses. And it's just a casting molding where they pour the aluminum. That's all it is. They pour it and then it dries and cures. And you even end up with, casting lines like this right here. Right? We don't want to take the casting line out. That's not a big deal. You're smooth on the front side. The back side doesn't really matter. That's just a casting mark. That's all it is, right? But it'll sand up and polish up. And like I said, we're not worried about getting the inside. We'll polish it up. Don't get me wrong. We'll polish it up and we'll sand it along but we're not worried about getting that perfect like we are the surface out here that you can see. Alright? Follow what I'm saying? We're going to have a nice smooth surface out here. So we have started with 80, a little bit of 60 to get that cast molding off and to get some of the heavier pitting out. Now, this will depend on how badly pitted your forks are, where you need to start with your sandpaper, okay? So I'm just going to follow up here with some 180 is our next. Then we're going to go to 220. From 220 we'll go to 320, I believe. And then we'll end up at 400. Then we'll go to 600. From 600 we'll go to 1,000 to 1,500 to 2,000, and then we'll polish it, right? So let me get this hit with the 180, right? Let me get that done up with the 180, and it's not going to take much. The initial sand, getting your coating off, and if you want to leave your casting marks on, you can, that's fine. I chose to take mine off. But getting the casting marks off and everything, that's where your time's going to be wrapped up at, right? You know, and then of course the polishing, and when we do that, well, we'll show you. But let me get this with some 180, and we'll show you guys what it looks like after we hit it with the 180. Ready to go to 220 now. Take a look. You can see how the 180 took the heavy scratches out that we put in it with the 80 grit and 60 grit. So the 180 brought some of that out. The 220 is going to bring it out even more. Right? And we're not going to like skip and go right up to a big number. We're just going to step it up so it has time to, you know, work all the little stuff out. Like right here, we still got a little bit of that casting and a little bit of pitting from that casting, but as we step up, we'll work that out. So we got a bucket of water sitting here, right? And we're just going to use the bucket of water. So here we go, 220. Alright, we're up to 1,500 grit done. So I'm going to spin it around. You guys can take a look at it. You know, it's not polished yet. You know, give me a break. It's not polished yet. But, I mean, if you wanted like a brushed aluminum look, I mean, I'd say go up to like 4,000 grit or something like that. Go to the highest grit you can possibly get, if that's what you want. And just wet sand it. But we got that's out. Up here's looking good. Down here across the front's looking good. Yeah, we're looking good there. Looking good across there. Down here we're not overly concerned with. We're not going to put a lot of effort into that because it's going to be hidden. Are we going to polish it up? Yeah. Are we sanding it? Yeah. But are we worried about getting the mold grooves out of it? Not so much. You're not going to see it. It's going to be hidden. You know, you can cheat this a little bit and still make it look really nice, I think. So we've got, we're down to 1,500 right there, and we're getting ready to hit it with that two-step, that 2,000 grit, right? It's the highest I got, so it's pretty smooth. And then you guys can watch how smooth this just slides across this thing, right? Now, what I like to do is dry it off after each time just to check it out, and then I take the rag, I get it wet again, right? Get it getting wet. I mean, you could spit on it and give it that too, but yeah, had to throw that in there for Doyle. So there we go. Now we're gonna reach our bucket. We're gonna get our 2,000 grit out, right? And this is how we've been doing it, guys and gals. Come up here like this, real nice and easy. See how smooth that slides? It's like effortless, right? I get down here, right? Come back up. It don't take much, right? It don't take much at all. Then we'll take the paper, get it on there with the finger, get that ball good, and just scuff it up, right? Yep, there you go. That's good. Right, now we're going to turn it a little bit, and we're going to hit it again. Fresh towel dry it. That's up to 2,000 grit, right? Let's make sure we don't have anything on y'all. I think we were splashing some water. But that's all the way up to 2,000. I'd say if you went 2,500 maybe, you could get a real decent brushed aluminum look. Mine were in real rough shape, so there's some scratches where I had to get a little deep. We're going to see what the polish will do to get that out, right? I'm not overly concerned about it. Like I said, it's not a garage clean. It gets road. So we're going to use the orange and gray rags, which I buy a bunch of good microfiber cloths instead of the Hobo Freight ones. They're alright, but they leave behind a little bit of lint. And in this case, we don't want that. So we're going to start with a rag, and we'll finish off with the buffer. Now keep in mind, the more you sit there and rub on this, the shinier it's going to become. Alright. Alright, so, we're not done. We still got a lot more polishing to do, but we're not going to bore you guys to death with that, right? You can see we've got some scratches here. I'm going to probably get some triple aught steel wool and see if we can't get them out, right? And then we'll polish some more. But here's the front, right? See the front? That'd be what you see looking at it. And I mean, compared to what it was, even with the scratches in it, I'm impressed. So we just need to get some of them scratches out. And that's, I don't know what that's from. Because we wet sanded. We don't have, down here's where we use the 60. We didn't really use much. We used a little bit up in here. But, yeah. We'll see what some triple aught steel wool will do. So, we'll have to continue the video, but let's show you guys comparison. Well, let's just hold the camera here. On the left side, well, your left, this one over here, you can see how it was all pitted up nasty. Then you can see how nice and shiny this one's going to be. And the fender is going to hide this in here, in the tire. It's going to hide that stuff. So here's your front, what you're going to see, which we have some scratches there. Like I said, some triple aught might get that out, and we've got some here too. So we'll work on that some more, trying to get that out. I might try some cutting compound, but yeah, we're scratched up a bit. But I don't know what you guys think. I'm happy with it, but once we get it all done 100%, I'll let you guys know if we did triple aught or what we did to get the scratches out, if we can get the scratches out. And I'll show you guys the finished, full, polished set of forks with it on the ground, right? Okay, folks, I'm sitting out here cleaning the bike up, and I can't remember if I did ending to the forks. So if I didn't do an ending to the forks, here's your ending to the forks. We're going to show you guys the finished product after my little man helped me get everything back together on the front end. So here we go. There's what your forks look like, your lowers. Here. Alright, there's what your forks look like, your lowers. Once you sand them down and shine them all up. Yeah, I know, I still gotta do the fender. But there they are. Gotta do a little bit of wipeage, just wipe some stuff off. Anyway, like I said, we just gotta wipe a little bit of stuff off, and that's kind of what we're working on now. And well, I don't know, can you guys see it back there? Back there? Right there? Yeah. Yeah. Painted the cooler rack too. So yeah, we're gonna get the cooler rack back on the camper, and we're gonna get the camper packed, and we're gonna be camping next weekend. But I don't know when you guys will see this video. So anyway, yeah, thanks for watching and stopping by, and well, go clean your forks on your bike. Get rid of that ugly, nasty pitting. Alright? We'll see y'all later. Bye.